Hey y'all, I'm Kelly with Blast Mobile Fitness.
I'm Amy.
We are bringing you a badass lift class for your, for your lifting pleasure, for your resistance training pleasure.
Yes.
Okay, you don't often see too many places give you this kind of workout in a video format. Usually it is written out and you just kind of follow it and do the work. We would like to give you the opportunity to follow along with us in doing a really good set lifting class, if you will. We want to make sure, though, that we go over format and we go over safety. Lifting weights properly is going to keep you lifting weights for as long as you want to lift weights. People that get hurt usually is because they are lifting improperly or they're lifting weight that's too heavy for them. So whenever we talk about weight selection, we're going to always defer to what you are the most comfortable with. If you were here with us in the studio today and you were working out with us, where we could have our eyes and our hands on you if need be, we could push you to lift heavier. But you are at home and you might be lifting by yourself. And if you are, that there is no security of a spotter, then please be careful. Lift weight that you can manage, not only in the actual movement, but getting it on your back and off your back, or on your chest and off your chest, or wherever you are putting the weight. Okay, so our butts and guts class is a leg day workout, and we've got supersets for you this week. We are going to give you a detailed warm-up to follow, and it's going to be on the printout that you're going to see attached to this video. So please make sure that you're looking at that warm-up and you're getting that done to completion before you get started. I'm going to go over this real quick. For leg day, we're going to be doing supersets, and we're going to give you the option to do 4 big supersets with us. You can divide this workout into 2 experiences if you'd like. So if you're short on time and you want to do a little bit of lifting this morning and then you want to do a little bit of lifting this evening, you can definitely break this one up and end up with 2 shorter lower body lift sessions. Or if you wanted to lift on Monday and Wednesday and do legs, you can divide it up and do that as well. You can actually even do this workout twice in a week and it would be good. Of course, I'm going to get the hiccups. I always get the hiccups when I'm on camera. All right, so your warm-up for leg day is going to be a 60-second hamstring stretch, and I'm going to show you some options. 60-second hamstring stretch, probably one of the easiest ones to do, is just simply a forward fold, a hinge at the hip, keeping the legs nice and straight, and you want to be able to get to the ground. If you can't get to the ground, then take the legs a little bit wider, shift the weight to the back, and keep everything nice and strong and supported while you're stretching your hamstrings. If you don't like the way this one feels, if you don't want to have your head down below your heart that way, you can always do a kind of reclining, lifted toe hamstring stretch for these hamstrings here in the back on the left leg and then on the right leg. I would suggest that you do 60 seconds on each leg if you're going to divide it up and do a unilateral stretch. Pigeon stretch, one of my favorite stretches before we get to lifting. Your pigeon stretch, do the best that you can do. If it bothers your knee, then drop the hip to the ground, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Your pigeon stretch, you want to have the heel of your bent front leg resting at the hip flexor of your outstretched leg in the back. You can brace the belly, push the crotch down toward the floor, and then drop your chest to the ground and just kind of hang out here. If you would like, you can make a little headrest for yourself. But you're stretching all of this posterior chain here. If this bothers your knee, I am okay with you dropping the hip to the ground and then bringing this leg out just a little bit and still getting that nice pigeon stretch. You'll do that for 60 seconds on the right leg, followed by 60 seconds on the left leg.
On deck next, you've got 40 walking lunges, or you can do 10 forward and reverse step lunges on each leg. So just find some space to work with. You'll drive the knee down in that walking lunge position for a total of 40, or you can opt to do the forward and the reverse step back lunge as well. Remember, when you do that step forward, you want to drive in the heel, drive that back knee down, and if you can float the foot, great, but you'll do 10 and 10. Next one, you're gonna do
bridge hip thrusts. Keeping your heels firmly on the ground, you're gonna lift your hips nice and strong, and then bring them all the way down to the floor. Lift. I really don't want you, I'm not interested in really how high you can pike your hips, because I don't want you to hyperextend your back. What I want you to do is drive through the glutes and warm up and think about this hip extension and keeping the bridge high and tight, but not so high that you're hyperextending the back. And what's our last one? This is all warm-up exercises to remind you.
We've got leg lifts next. So you're gonna do 20 lateral leg lifts on each side.
Now what we want for these lateral leg lifts is we prefer to have a nice flat back. So if you can maybe go to the sofa, or if you have a countertop or something at home, we like a flat back. So when you're kind of here, and then you're gonna lift these lateral leg lifts all the way out. Once your elbows are anchored down, you'll be able to lift that leg all the way up. So Amy, if you want to just spin the camera around real quick, then I can show them exactly what we mean by that.
Yep.
Do you want to just spin it for a quick second?
I sure can, yep.
All right, so don't mind her in the movement, but here we are. We have a nice neutral spine here, and we're gonna lift and lower the legs like so. Okay, you're gonna do 20 on the right leg and 20 on the left leg. Good?
Yep.
Now, forgive us while we put it back so you can see us in the right angle. Good, I didn't wanna not show you those because sometimes they get a little people get a little uncertain about those. Okay, that is your warm-up. After you do those lateral leg lifts, you're gonna hit 15 burpees, and then you're gonna be ready to go. Okay, remember that is your full warm-up. The warm-up is gonna take you about 15 to 20 minutes. It could take, if your leg lifts take you a long time, probably more like 15 minutes. By the time you get your stretches done and move through the warm-up, about 15 minutes or so. If you are already sore before you do the warm-up, I would highly recommend that you roll. Most instances, I always recommend that you're rolling before and after a workout if you can get it in. Okay, you guys, so our superset workout for this week, for leg day, is gonna consist of four sets, which would end up being 8 exercises, 4 different ones, and then we group them differently. So superset number 1 is going to be a barbell curtsy lunge versus a barbell static lunge. So the curtsy lunge, we talk about this one all the time in the studio. Please make sure that your form is correct and you're getting the proper stance and width of the lunge. So with the barbell on your back, you're gonna do 6 to 8 curtsy lunges on the right leg, followed directly and immediately by 6 to 8 static lunges on the right leg. So you'll superset the right leg, then you'll superset the left leg, and then you will rest. So it's gonna look like this. You'll do a curtsy lunge here, curtsy, and up. You'll do 6 to 8 of these. Now, depending on how much weight you have, will be how many reps you do. If you're gonna go a little bit heavier, stick with 6. If you're gonna go a little bit lighter, you can go to 8. Once you've done your 6th or 8th one, you're gonna go right into a static stance lunge. Here, down, and up. So kind of like a high lunge, low lunge deal there. You'll do 6 to 8 on the right leg, and then you'll repeat it 6 to 8 on the left leg of both lunge types, and that's 1 set. You're gonna repeat the superset 5 times with 60 to 90 seconds of rest in between each round. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody got that? Curtsy barbell lunge versus static. 6 to 8 of each on the right leg, 6 to 8 of each on the left leg. Then you will rest and you'll repeat that 4 more times for a total of 5 supersets. This is overload, y'all. This is leg day. Second superset is
sumo deadlift and single leg deadlift. So again, work with the same concept. You'll do 5 complete sets of that superset, but the movements this time around will be a sumo deadlift in addition to a single leg deadlift. You're gonna hit 6 to 8 reps for your goal. So on that sumo deadlift, you wanna turn your feet out, and the grip on the bar is gonna be narrow, so it's gonna be right by your groin. Super important when you pick up this bar, you don't lean over and ruin your back. You wanna make sure that you get low enough to be able to support your weight as you stand and you are set. So again, your feet, the stance here is wide. So take those feet wide, shoulders are down and back, and in that deadlift, you always shave that bar to your legs. So flaring the knees out, driving that bar down, you're here and you're up.
Amy, would you turn to the side and do one for them so they can see?
Yeah.
Notice that as she pushes her knees out, her back stays neutral. She drives the bar all the way down and all the way up. Remember, you're gonna feel this differently than you would a regular front squat or even a back squat. You're gonna feel more of the inner thighs as well, and it really gets the glutes very, very nicely. So you're probably gonna feel it in your quads too. It's leg day, so we're trying to hit the legs in all the good places.
And then you will follow it up with a single leg deadlift. So on that single leg deadlift, you will kickstand your stance.
We wanted to do this one in a triangle stance versus floating the leg, and Amy does these very, very well, so please watch her form. She's got a great range of motion in her hamstrings, and she can keep her back super neutral. So when I say triangle stance, it's a split stance, and the back heel is gonna be lifted off the floor. She's still gonna soften the front knee and drive the barbell down the leg and all the way up. So this really does, for all of you that have trouble with your balance, this takes the balance problem out of the equation. You can still make sure that this foot here in the back really is doing nothing but just stabilizing her balance, right? This is not, you're not really pushing a whole lot on this leg. The toe is down, but all the load is working in the front leg. Keep that knee soft. I don't want any part of that stiff leg over here on the front. Keep it nice and soft so that the load can be intense. Yep.
So,
all right.
Yep, 6 to 8 on one and 6 to 8 on the other. Put that bar down nice and safely.
So what you'll do on that side is you'll do 6 to 8 sumo, and then you'll do 6 to 8 on the right leg. Then you'll go back and you'll do 6 to 8 more sumo, and then you'll do 6 to 8 on the left leg of the triangle single leg deadlift. So this is kind of a little extra, you get a little extra love on this. You get almost like a double superset on this one. Now what we want to do here is we want to give you the option to be able to split this up. And so what we thought would be cool to do would then give you the option to make this a full hour or so, probably more like 80 minutes of work. You'll do, for your superset number 3, you'll take A and C, and then you'll do B and D. So if barbell curtsy lunge and sumo deadlift will be your 3rd superset, and barbell static lunge and single leg deadlift will be your 4th superset. So that gives you four supersets, 5 sets of each one. So this is gonna take some time. If you've got that hour and change to do the full 4 supersets, that's gonna give you 20 sets of lifting in that leg day workout. So it's gonna be a no joke. If you don't have that kind of time, split up and do A and B, C and D, and then come back either the next day or the day after and do the other 2. Then we have a nice fun core superset to do. Again, you're doing 5 sets, and we have this on the graphic for you. Everything is outlined. We've got a plank versus dead roach superset. You know me, it's one of my favorites. So you'll do plank for 30 seconds, and you'll hold it. Yes and yes. Good. You'll hold it for 30 seconds, you'll drop to the mat, you'll flip over, you'll do 30 seconds of dead roach. That's one. You're gonna do 5 of those, 30 and 30. So it's gonna be a 5-minute core set, y'all. You've got dead roach versus plank. Just set your timer. When the bell goes off, you flip and go. You can do the fancy flip if you want. I'll show you the fancy flip just because it's fun. If you're doing the dead roach, your legs are up like so. You're gonna crisscross your ankles when it's time to roll. You'll roll and you'll flip. So you can play with that if you want to try. It's a lot of fun. I don't have the ability to do the fancy flip in reverse, but some of you have that, so go for it if you can. Okay? So a couple things to tell you, things to remember is if your barbell is not as heavy as you would like it to be, slow your tempo down. Time under tension makes the weight feel heavier. We are not doing these for time, you are doing them for focus and for intention, right? Choose a challenging weight. So if you have the option to load a little bit heavier weight and take a little bit more time to get through, remember what I said, if you go heavier, just do less repetitions. Do 6 versus 8. If you are just over the heavy weight and you don't want to do heavy weight at all, you can actually take this exact same workout and make it a 10 to 12 rep set with lighter weight. It's completely up to you. Always use proper form. Please look at the video, right? We're showing you how to do it, and then you can always split this up and make 2 shorter lift workouts out of it.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Blast Mobile Fitness. Like us on Instagram as well. Follow us there. Stay connected. Share the love. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to blasting y'all soon.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, you guys, we're in Spring, Texas. And if you live in and around our area, when we are ready to reopen, we hope that we will see your beautiful face with us right here in the studio. Deal?
Absolutely.
Hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Peace.